Is this thing on?
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Okay. The Coffee and Carving Show episode number 94.
94. 94.
Welcome back, everyone. 2024. Is it 2024?
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2024. Yep.
Wow. What?
You're
happened?
getting old.
I'm 29.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
I was 29 once.
How long ago was that?
21, 23 years ago.
Wow. That's not that
Yeah.
long ago. Really? It's really
No.
not. No. Well, this is entertaining.
This is great. I was just
Man.
thinking to myself, I have two children older than you.
Well,
What am I even doing here?
yeah. What are you even doing here? What am I doing here is the better question.
Is it?
I should be with young whippersnappers my age, running the streets, running the streets. What does that even mean?
Yes,
I think
but Alec has an old soul. An old soul.
Oh, that Alec. He's an old soul at heart. He's got the old wood turning tools and the old hands and the old face.
Yeah.
Well, Douglas, how the heck are you, man? How was your New Year? Your 2023, the final weeks.
Final
between.
weeks. What have I been up to? I had a very tiny Christmas, very small, just basically Christmas Eve, and that was it. My first orphan Christmas,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
but we didn't see my wife's family because that's a drive up north. We've been kind of doing it every other year. So,
Yeah.
but we make up for it in the summertime and we have a big get together for a week. So
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's good.
I don't mind.
Yep.
But so yeah, fairly quiet, and I'm enjoying my break from the YouTubes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's been kind of a break for you.
Oh, it's going to be a much greater break too. I didn't really announce this out loud,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm taking a real break for a while. So it'll be a while before I come back. I
Right.
am. What am I doing? Am I working on me? Is that fair?
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
boy.
Oh, I don't have time for that.
Oh,
No,
not more of this stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
It's
Go ahead.
funny because the at work, like the pastors, every 7 years they get a sabbatical.
True.
Just to because you and this is not my case. Okay, I don't mean to say it like that.
Sure.
It's not my case, but you give and you give and you give, but you don't get to
Right.
take back. So, for instance, I am in the middle of that wood carving class with Ryan Olson,
Oh, yeah.
which is two weekends worth.
Giddy up.
So that's fantastic, eh?
Mm-hmm.
That
What a
guy,
cool dude, right?
That guy is like there is levels, no question about it, and he's amazing. And I love the way that he teaches. He's so personable too, right? He's just a good dude.
He is.
And
He's funny, too. He's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy, and he sings. But there's a reason for everything, and I love when he's talking and stuff. We do this because of this, and he gives you a little side story, and back and forth, and it's great. Mind you, I got to do my homework, but my only goal. So
Oh, right. You've got homework again,
got
Doug. How does that
homework.
feel?
It feels
Remember all the
like
nightmares you had when you left school?
I procrastinate homework always till Sunday nights, especially. I remember
Yep.
just cramming for Monday morning.
Yeah.
But I have homework. But what was I saying? This class, I don't know if I said before or not, but it's quirky women. So it's women.
The women are in the class? Or...
No, it's just woman bus. So we're just doing woman faces, but they all have a little quirkiness, like big buck teeth,
see.
pretty faces,
carving
and
quirky
big
women.
buck teeth or funny mouths or whatever. So it's very entertaining. And all I really want from it is just to take away a couple of little subtle things, especially for my little carvings, just to know just a few little cuts that make the difference to make a woman, because I'm usually dealing on a smaller scale, even than the class when he's teaching. But anyway, I've already picked up a lot, so it's good for me. So
how couldn't you? I mean, look at his efficiency of cuts. I mean, he can do so much with a knife.
Yeah.
I mean, just to make a few simple plain cuts, and you've got a very expressive and accurate face. It's good.
You know what I did realize though is that I can see why people may appreciate the simple carvings as well. From like going into class, you had to have a bandsaw. Basically, you had to make your own roughouts. Yeah, and I can see how the casual carver doesn't want a bandsaw or whatever. And the starting point is usually square with my stuff. And anyway, it was very interesting to.
I actually have a bone to pick with people who don't want a bandsaw.
Right?
I do. I've got a bone to pick with them.
Go ahead, because I have a retort.
Okay, so my grandpa was born in Greece, and he moved here with all enthusiasm to learn English, but never really fully learned it. In fact, he kind of came up with this hybrid, English-Greek hybrid, and one of the things he would say if he didn't like someone is, "You and me, we're gonna fight."
Yes.
Okay, so that's the first thing that popped in my head when you brought up the bandsaw people. Because, here's why. It's not because I'm upset at people that don't own bandsaws. Right? I don't care about that. But what I'm upset about is those people tend to be total jerks in the comments. They're like, "Oh, I see Mr. Rich Guy with a bandsaw."
Yeah,
it's like, you can go on Facebook Marketplace and find somebody's old piece of crap bandsaw for $55. I mean, the bandsaw I have here is a $2,500 bandsaw, right? People always look at that and go, "Ooh, he's so fancy." I bought it at a garage sale. It was $200. I mean, that's still a lot of money. That's still a lot of money for some people, right? But 200 bones, you could buy one a quarter of that size and still do your little roughouts, and it would cost you pretty little if you went on Marketplace.
I have two.
See, there you go.
I have a big one just for
hit up old Doug. Doug will get you one.
No, I have a big one just for cutting logs in half, and my little one is for like the little basswood cutouts. Because I hate changing. You know what? There's an art to tuning a bandsaw.
Yeah.
And when you lose your perfect spot, when you change a blade. You ever have that? I fight my saws constantly to get that blade back where I want it, especially with a different size blade. I fight with my saw and I think around and to keep it from coming off all the time and adjusting.
Yep.
There's an
Well, you learn when you're a kid, right? Never pull out.
Yep.
Of the bandsaw with the wood, the bandsaw. I'm talking about woodworking here, folks.
You want to talk about a bandsaw though? I still want to get that scroll bandsaw.
What's that? Oh, it's got a really thin blade,
and it's in a groove,
in a track.
Oh, right,
cool.
And that scroll bandsaw. Who makes that? Oh, Bearwood Mountain Supply sells them for. Anyway, it's the only one. If you ever put in scroll bandsaw, it'll come up. But those guys, and it'll cut, 6-inch boards, like scroll bandsawing. You can just.
Does it have teeth?
It's basically a scroll saw blade in a loop. So the difference from a scroll saw is you can't take the blade off and put it through a hole. So that's why it's a bandsaw.
Right.
But it's a super cool tool. But anyway, my retort. You don't start carving and have a bandsaw. Think of the millions of people that would have a happy whittling hobby in all the high rises. I was in the city the other day looking at all these high rises going, how many tens of thousands of people live in those high
Mm-hmm.
rises.
Yeah.
And if they had a knife and a tool and a strop,
Yep.
they could happily buy their 1x1s, and they could be happy whittlers up in there. But no, Alec thinks they need a bandsaw and they need a workshop, so they can't do anything, right? All they can do is read books on their balcony. No, that's not true, Alec. You're wrong. Why do you say that to them anyway? You think everybody just reads in apartments?
Doug, you're gonna make me cry again. Do you see this? I'm getting emotional. I feel terrible. I feel like I wronged a lot of people, a whole group of people I didn't even think of. And first of all, I want to apologize. I used a broad brush to paint people who are probably really great people in a bad light. No, I just mean, all I'm saying is, I know,
it's true. It's how I feel.
Those people, do you see those comments?
Yeah, and I feel the same way with people with a CNC machine.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna make this toolbox today. We're just gonna punch in on our laptop, and
there's levels to that too, isn't there?
Exactly, same thing.
Right.
I'll just
but you're not gonna go on.
My $50,000 CNC machine is gonna cut it out, and it's gonna work out perfectly. Look at I'm making box joints. Look how perfect I made them. You didn't do nothing. Yeah. You have computer skills.
Yeah.
But the machine does it.
Right.
But
well, I know a lot of carvers for a fact they use those to speed up their production, and I think it's fine. I mean, if you have the ability to carve and you're doing that, that's cool. But if you don't even have the ability and you're using that machine, that feels cheap to me. If you're selling it as a handmade product, but I digress. It's just the people. It's the people who vilify folks who show the tools that they have to use for their procedure. But to your point, if you can simplify it and create a setup in a way without having those tools, then you're golden.
I've always said I'm the gateway drug. I just get you started. That's all. Right. Like everybody who gets started, they bypass me in a year if they really get into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and I love a good 1x1 or 2x2 project. If you can just carve it into a pre-cut stick. Because I understand, we both started somewhere, and I remember getting the kit that was already pre-cut out. Yeah. The boot was already cut out. Yeah. And that was the reason I enjoyed it so much as a kid. And it gave me a sense of accomplishment.
So what have I been up to, you say?
Well, I'm more interested in talking about bandsaws.
Yeah, never talking about bandsaws. But otherwise, my last video...
It's a trigger word.
I was before Christmas. Mm-hmm. And that was my Santa Claus in bark, which I could happily carve Santa Clauses for eternity.
Yeah, he's super cool.
It's fun, eh? He's a fun Santa Claus.
Super cool.
So, that was a fun one. And I don't know, last week I did another bark carving.
Oh, man. Yeah, I saw that one on the FaceTime the other day. That was probably your best, if not one of your better wood spirits. Okay. That's awesome. Not that one's better than the other.
I have a critique on this one big time, and I didn't even see it until it was all painted. It was done. But what's wrong with it? I know it's probably half blurry where you are.
Yeah, I can't see well enough to critique it.
When you see it clearly, you'll know. I need more forehead. The forehead.
You have plenty of forehead, Doug.
No, I do, but not this guy.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
right.
He needs more forehead. His hairline is too low.
Well, what if his hair is all pushed down, like Donald Trump?
Yeah,
that's our president.
I need to have
was our president? Sorry.
Yeah, he will be president again.
We'll see about that.
Anyway, that's my only critique. But again, painted all together, you don't even notice it right off.
It looks awesome that way.
I was very happy.
I love the paint that blends it, the way it kind of blends in.
Yeah, remember I'm back and forth all the time on that if I like it or not. But I thought
people love the paint jobs you do on them. I hear about it a lot.
I felt like this is like an Alec. This doesn't look like an Alec Lacasse carving when I paint them.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have another little project with 1x1s, but I'm not going to show you yet because I don't even know if I'm going to do it. So just farting around. But Anyway, so
Yeah.
I am enjoying my time off, and I'm learning. I've already signed up for another class in March with another
Who's that?
fella, Charles Banks. At
I gotta look this guy up. Charles Banks.
he's a flat plane carver. He's amazing, and I believe I got the last spot. So sorry, folks, if you got all excited for a second there, but I believe
Oh,
it's
the
sold
carving
out.
artist.
No,
Charles Banks, the carving artist on Instagram.
oh,
Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah.
okay.
Well, I hope you're taking this guy because he's really good.
He's fantastic. He
Wow.
has a whole different mindset.
That's cool.
He does a lot of layers. We've talked about him before. I know we have.
Mm-hmm.
He'll stack up 3/4 inch layers of basswood just to give different dimension to the carving and glue them on.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow. Oh, I see it now. I see the layers and the
Yeah,
spring clamps he's
right.
holding everything together with.
Yeah,
That's a cool idea.
yeah. So it's like sometimes one of those big caps of his or whatever will be added after. Like it's really cool. And he says too. He says, "Who knows in the future? This might be the best way to save wood." Just by, you don't have to have the big chunks like that and just add layers like that. And I love it. I absolutely love it. He also he has a book
The
coming out in
sweaters he
spring
paints
too.
are awesome.
Yeah, the what they call is it Murray sweater? Marais? Murray.
Oh, cool. This is good. My book is out on printer. Oh, I should do this. I'm gonna send this to my wife.
There you go. But so I'm looking forward to that too. So
How cool.
anyway, all this to
Yeah, I've
say
never seen him.
is I hit a wall in the fall, and everybody probably can tell. I was kind of
You
dropping
healed
off,
up well.
losing interest. But something has to change. So I'm gonna figure things out before I come back. Which I might take months. Who knows? But I'm gonna come back. I know it's gonna be different when I come back. Either I do less videos or I do more variety. Because I've really distanced myself from so many things I want to do for the videos, for the
Right.
people. I'm more committed to the people than I am to myself for years. So anyway, no regret whatsoever.
Sure.
I'm just saying, but I've realized that, did I tell you, 60% of my views coming on my channel right now are for videos that are a year or two old. Like no hits in the last year and a half. Like all the old videos are carrying the channel, which is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
But it feels like that's been done now. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I just want to rethink. I was looking at Bobby Duke. Bobby Duke did 9 videos last year. He's like one of the biggest YouTubers. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't
Right.
so
That
maybe
is weird.
maybe better videos. Who knows? Like I said, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just working through it, and we'll figure it out.
Yep. Right.
And I'm very happy. So,
Good.
speaking of happy, I want to thank Gregory, David, Graham's Fortier, and Fored for our Christmas coffees. I forgot about them. We got some Christmas coffees.
People have some cool names. Cheers. Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
We
guys.
appreciate it. Seriously, awesome.
Otherwise, I'm just living the dream.
Yeah.
Also, I'm living in lamp oil land, and I can explain that somehow in my paint department I had a ball of lamp oil,
Yeah.
and I dumped half of it on the floor, and whew, she's pungent down here.
Oh yeah.
Hard to clean it out of absorbed into a cement floor.
Right. And we should tell people that we don't condone the use of lamp oil for any sort of intoxicant or anything like that. So we don't recommend that.
Don't
Just
be.
because Doug does it
I'll be laying on the floor huffing the floor.
doesn't mean that you should do it too. So
There you go. What have you been up to?
well, that's good. It sounds like you're figuring things out. And yeah, that's always a tough one, right? I mean, we could nerd out about that stuff forever, but it's like, do you quality over quantity over quality. There's an argument to be made for making quantity. You get better as you make more things. And then there's on the other side of that, I mean, I'm keeping it vague here because most people aren't trying to make YouTube videos,
No,
but
no.
uh, but then you also get something from putting more effort into one thing. You know, for instance, for me, that you could carry on the same mindset in your carving. I've been spending more time this new year on this big deer carving, right?
Yep, yep.
And there is something that's more fulfilling. It makes you feel more uh, maybe legitimate in some way when you have a sizable thing to show for what you're doing. And that's not necessarily right. I don't think that I'm not trying to be sizist over here, but I do think that there's something for something to be said for that. Doing a bigger project, putting more effort into one thing.
I don't know if that's really what I want. I'm thinking I want to just put the smile back on my face. My old videos were I had a lot of nonsense, like
Yeah.
fun, fun, silly.
Yep.
And the last 6 months, I've been kind of sitting right here on Saturdays when I should be in my bush. Like now, I have property. I have other things. So that's why I say I don't know if I want to include stuff like that, or even the camp. I didn't show any of the camping, and if I did show any camping last year, I actually deleted those videos because working through YouTube professionals and listening to their advice, saying to stay in your lane, and I don't care anymore. I don't care. It's sucking the life out of me. I'll say this too: the more that you give, the more they want, and different than. I don't want this to be a wine fest. I'm happy as a pig in mud. I just want to try to explain a little bit that this is not my job. I'm working. I manage a whole mall. I have a full-time job. This is supposed to be a sideline, and it's like all-consuming. Like there's more big YouTubers quitting in the last couple weeks. Like it's amazing how many people are like, I'm done, I'm out, because there's this YouTube brain that as soon as you do one thing, it's like, what's next? What's next?
Right.
It's stressful, just churning in your head. You think about that more than your kids or whatever. You know, like it's anyway. I just want to lose all that and just have fun again. So
yeah, I get that.
Right.
Yeah, and I think you just kind of get what you give a little bit too in life, and then also in YouTube, where you get successful in one area, a really narrow niche area, and then you get locked down into doing that. You know, the only way to get out of that is to break free and to just do something different and have fun with it.
Well,
and you see who your true fans are in that case too.
And the problem is, of course, is that my whole life has been like this because I started YouTube in the bushcraft and survival stuff.
Yeah.
And then came Sycamore Sam. And then over a course of years, like I herniated a disc. That was 8 months.
Yeah.
I couldn't go camping. I couldn't do anything. Right. I broke my ankle. I broke my elbow. COVID. And then it's like, this is supposed to be a part-time job, and then you go up north, do a great camping trip, and then it's like, go next weekend, you know, you can't maintain it. So then the carving kind of came in and took over, and I was very happy, and then the carving became a job, and then I'm sitting here, and then have I ever talked about Wood Carving Illustrated? They sponsored some of my videos, and early December, I left them.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever told anybody that. Nothing against them whatsoever.
Right.
But for all the same reasons.
Right.
Is that I just want to be happy, enjoy it, no stress. They didn't stress. Nobody forced anything on me. I want to make that clear. This is old crazy brain just churning and feeling, making things up. Like they weren't harassing me to make videos or nothing, but I felt it.
It became more of a job. It became more of a legitimate job.
Yeah. So anyway, it'll be an interesting year. But anyway, enough about me. Gross.
Yeah, yuck.
Yuck. Who wants to tune in and listen to me?
Yeah. Probably 80% of the wood carving world, man. They love you, brother. But Yeah, I get that. I could see that. You know, you do want to have parts of your life that you enjoy, in addition to the parts that you have to do, right?
Well,
And then I
yeah.
think it's good to divide it up within your within. It doesn't have to be like a totally separate hobby. Like for me, guitar is that, but then you can do like, you know, some part of your carving can be fun. Like for instance, this is not, we're not doing this because of profitability. You know,
Oh,
this is pure conversation.
yes, yes, it is.
And that I mean, to me that's the beauty, is we have things like this that we can do that fuel us and get us excited about trying things, or we get to learn, bounce things off of one another. We adapt things that we've both used in our lives, and then we make them better, and then rinse and repeat. And that's what it's all about, is creating a community that improves everyone's experience in a given field, their craft or skill. So I think that's
But it's
great.
not all about carving either, because, like I said, like
Yep.
now I have the land,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't do what I want to do,
Yeah.
feeling obligated to be doing something else, and
Yeah.
so I just want, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to feel that way anymore.
So
Right. Yeah.
I could have a barn full of, I could have a barn full of animals. I could have a monster
You
garden.
could.
I could
That'd be cool.
I could build a mini tiny house. Anyway, what have you been up to?
Yeah.
We gotta stop talking
Vote.
about me.
Vote below. What would you no. I think
No.
the biggest thing is like when you try and when you try so hard to appease the audience that you sort of like forget what it is that you care about and what you want to do, and when you feel like you're just feeding an audience. And
You keep bringing this back around. Now I have to comment again.
well, it's fun to talk about, isn't it? I mean, this is a good topic.
I don't want to. If you want to talk
We don't
about
have
it,
to
that's
talk
fine.
about it.
But I
No,
just
we don't
don't
have to
feel
talk
like
about it.
I don't want to be like taking over the whole podcast. Well, no, you know what else too? So
Mhm.
this channel, this is my second channel, started in
Mhm.
2015. Very
Right.
few breaks since 2015. But in
Sure.
the light of not that I think I'm going to die too soon, but in
Yeah.
light of watching my parents both pass away, like,
Mm.
am I enjoying my life?
Mm. Yep. Yep.
I love wood carving. I love making videos.
Yeah.
I also love playing in the bush. I also love,
Right.
but you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
There's the word. We gotta
Yep.
find the balance. That's it.
See, I knew there was more to be said there, because it kind of got cut off. You were
Yeah.
like, all right, enough.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't want to make it about me, but that's what it is. I need to find a balance,
Yeah.
because I won't be quitting any jobs too soon,
Right.
especially from this podcast.
Yeah. Sorry, Doug. I'm dragging you down. Find another.
I gotta go on my own. I'm going on my own.
Yeah. The coffee and outdoor show. I mean, that ultimately was your idea.
But it was
So,
again.
the name.
Again, that's what
Mhm.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Maybe more demonstrational campfire. I feel like I said this before. That's why I don't want to say it again. But the start was Sycamore Sam, campfire, coffee, whittling, fun.
I'm with you. In fact, my buddy Sam and I, to answer two questions. One, what am I doing? And two, I don't know, make up a question that would fulfill this. That would be fulfilled by this. Sam and I made a list of like 60 odd topics for wood carving for our YouTube. Most of them aren't carving related. I'm not like sitting there carving for these ideas. These are just like,
Right.
some of them I am.
Right.
But a lot of it's just like, okay, safety tips for wood carving. You know, think from the mind of a beginner. Like, what do people need and want to know? And because it's not sustainable, like you're saying, it's not sustainable for me to make a carving every week for YouTube. It's just not. Right. So, and so talking about that. And one of the things was like, do something outdoor. You know, I've never done that. Like I have done that, but I've never like done a carving. And doesn't it seem so fitting that you do something natural in nature?
Yeah.
Seems like all the videos should be done out there in the bush.
I agree.
mean, that's kind of like what is that bushcraft guy who's from England who does all the really realistic necklace pendants and all that. What's his name? I can't remember his name. But...
Giles Newman or Giles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his name either.
I think it's
yeah.
Giles.
Yeah, he used to remember when he used to do all these videos and pictures of him in this tent outside by a fire. He'd make them all with one knife, with a Mora knife.
I know, a Mora 120,
a hook knife.
Yeah, not a hook knife,
or not a hook knife, but wouldn't he use something else in addition to that or no?
No, this knife right here.
I don't know. A 120, huh?
Mora 120.
Yeah. Well, you would know.
Oh, you want to see my Christmas present to myself?
Yeah. Absolutely. Ooh. I think you should. No, you didn't.
I think I might have shown you at Christmas time.
Yeah. But wow.
This is my little bush whittler.
That thing's cool.
To complement this one. These are made by Ash and Axe in the UK.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, like, he doesn't make the blades. I believe he just fits the handles. He has a little story about how he I believe he's a caretaker for some forest area, but really unique woods. And so whatever he prunes or cut off, he recycles and makes handles and stuff. But the fit and finish of these handles is amazing. They just and this looks doesn't that look silly? That's a silly looking
cute
hand.
Though.
But look at it's
it looks like the average American dad.
It's perfect.
Silhouette.
Yeah. It's a fantastic. And this one here for leverage, look at the length of that. So anyway,
and that's like the average Dutchman in terms of, long and thin.
My paws are big too, but that's a big handle.
Yeah, it is. It's like a Japanese carving tool.
So
they have those big handles.
But yeah, no, not much good for my everyday carving. But my bush whittling is
right.
Why I got them. So that's fun.
Huh.
I received it before Christmas, and I made Sophie wrap it up and put it under the tree for me.
Well, then I guess if we'll stick with that, and I'll show you my Christmas present.
Yes, please do.
One of mine is these pants.
What kind of pants are those pants?
These are Roundhouse. I had to look at the button on it because I can't remember the name. Roundhouse is a company. I believe they're made in Oklahoma. I can't remember if that's right or not, but they're reasonably priced. Kind of like a Carhartt, like a work pant, but much rowdy, much more. You're probably this has got to be 16-ounce cotton.
Yeah.
Canvas. Really
nice.
Heavy pants.
Yeah.
Double knee, so it starts from the very top of the thigh all the way down to the base of the shin. So it's a long double knee, extra padding protection, and this extra padding protection. I'm pretty sure that's a diaper.
It's a diaper
line from a diaper commercial.
But if you need it, hey, I'm not here to judge you.
No, and sometimes it's an issue. The bathroom is it's a building over, so. And there's no bathroom in the shop, so
there's no shame in this. You know what? We don't even talk about this enough as society.
We don't. No, I think people do look down upon people who are incontinent, people who have to use that, and especially younger people. It's like you do get funny looks in public from people when you're, And so I do appreciate. Yeah, so you get it.
Yeah. We need to. No stigma. No stigma no more.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Free the diaper.
Right.
Wow.
I think the biggest thing is the smell. Is that people, if you doogie in your pants and you're in an enclosed area, that's the biggest thing I've noticed.
I find it's the weight in the garbage can at the end of the week. It's a very heavy.
You would
heavy.
know.
Yeah, very heavy.
Yeah, you would know. Well, okay, so these pants are good.
Oh, we're back.
So, yeah, welcome back, everyone. And we'll take a quick break.
Yeah, we'll be here all week or all hour.
We'll be back for the break. And so yeah, these are like, people are gonna get angry at me for how much these cost because people don't like spending money on clothes. But these were $60. So don't get upset at me. I know that's like twice as much as what most people spend on a pair of jeans, but these are supposed to last you a lifetime, and they're made in USA,
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
made in the States.
I have started, if I buy normal clothing and coats and whatnot, like I have spent ridiculous amounts of money, and my wife can't believe it. But I have bought a couple, like I have a spring jacket that's like fall raven, and I bought a wool,
Oh yeah,
a Filson, the Mackinac coat.
you have that.
Yes, well, I expect to have it
Wow.
until I die.
Wow.
So
You wear it?
I wear it every day.
You're kidding.
No, I wear it every single day.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a great jacket.
It's a great jacket, and I hope you can bury me in it. Like,
Okay.
right?
I
I'm
don't
just saying,
want to
you
do
don't
that,
have to
but I will.
rebuy. Like, I had like nylon coats and stuff. This coat should last me forever.
Yeah. It's
So-
better at that price. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's okay to buy quality because you're
Yep.
not buying 5 of them, right?
Yeah, and one of the things that's cool about buying stuff that's made in the USA, I mean, barring Filson because sadly they're no longer made in USA, but something like Roundhouse is, you can be assured that it's not made by slave labor. There's not some 8-year-old kid who's chained to a workbench stitching these things together, and to me, I think that's actually a pretty cool thing. I mean, I know there's a lot of folks that say just buy the better quality, don't pander to your country, but I tend to, I'm an American. I know you're not an American, but as an American, I do like
Oh no,
supporting companies that
I like the same idea.
make good products that are
Yeah.
made in the States. I would
Yeah.
pay a little bit more for that.
It's funny as a Canadian, I don't mind buying UK stuff either.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that makes sense. The Queen, it puts food on the Queen's table either way, right? So
The Queen's dead, but
shoot. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that.
listen, you just made me
Hope
think
this
of
doesn't get
something. If I can
demonetized.
get some brownie points with your wife, you mentioned buying clothing.
Yeah.
Now, my wife was listening to your wife's podcast
That's right.
about
Your Two Best Friends podcast.
about not buying clothes for a year. So is this the first new clothing for you?
Yeah, this was it right here.
See?
This pair of pants. Well, it was actually a gift, so I don't know if that counts, but I don't think have I gotten any clothing yet? No, I haven't gone out and purchased any clothing for myself yet, but you know what? Once you get out of the habit, I'm serious. I go through Costco typically, and I never leave without a new shirt or a jacket or something stupid I don't need.
Mm-hmm.
Underclothes, whatever. I've been in Costco, 100 times since last year because I go every 3 days.
Well, explain the
And,
challenge. Explain it.
Yeah. Well, the challenge is pretty simple. It's just not to buy any clothes that are new. You can go to Salvation Army if you need something new, and then on top of that, you just create a little budget for yourself. We won't spend more than whatever $50. I don't remember what our budget was for it, but we have a personal budget, my wife and I, and so yeah. So it's just about consuming less stuff that you don't need. Part of it, and it was actually a little bit more of a thing on my wife's part because I don't care at this stage in life. I don't care a whole lot for really fancy clothes. Maybe more now, actually.
It'd be like putting lipstick on a pig. Yeah. What?
That's a big part of it. Yeah, part of me is like, why would I waste carnauba wax on an old rusty Jeep?
Right.
It's like too late, so I'm too far gone. But what I'm learning now is, yeah, if you can buy stuff that's made in the USA, it's quality, or it doesn't have to all be, but stuff that's better quality, that's higher standard, built with a higher standard, you're gonna end up having it longer, and you don't need to buy as much stuff. Yeah, but the girls were, yeah, that's what I was saying. The girls they really bought a lot of clothes, and so for them it was a bigger thing, So they did great. The girls did it as well. So my wife's friend Danielle is a co-host of the podcast, and they did a great job of talking about this whole issue and their consumerism and how it's not wrong to buy new stuff but for them it was a good thing to kind of cleanse their palate, the fat from it, if you will. And so I just thought I'd join them, and it was good. It didn't really affect me. Most people do. I mean, a lot of my friends do that anyway, so they kind of laughed at me like, "Oh, great. We
Yeah.
only shop at Salvation Army anyway, so
Salvation Army is so much better than Value Village. Do you have Value Village?
we have Value World, but I think that's is that a dollar store?
Okay, we have Value Village, and it's funny because some things you pick up and it's like has a dollar store sticker under the bottom, and they want $3 for it.
Right.
Like Salvation Army is the best for pricing.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, there are some places that no, it is Value World where they kind of mark it up based on the branding, and you're like, I thought the whole point was you can find a gem.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason we're here.
It's the hunt. It's the hunt. Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but they've found the gem before you, and they've priced it accordingly. You know,
they have experts.
The MSRP on eBay, similar items sold for. So, yeah. Wait, did you ask me something? I can't remember.
I don't know, but you were going to tell us about your what you've been up to, and we want to hear about the deer. Is the deer? Is the deer done?
Yeah, the deer is very close. So yeah, like I said earlier, I've been spending this week because I'd like to say I've been working on it for the past 9 months, but some of that was working on other things, and then at some point just fear, everything that goes into procrastination. And I've had an amazing customer who's very patient, and just overthinking it is a lot of the problem. But I got into the shop this past week. Well, what is it? Is it the 10th today? Yeah. So probably half of the last 10 days I've been out there for full days just buttoning it up, and all that's really left is some refining of the eyes details and thinning out some shapes. And then here's a picture from up top here. I don't know if you can see the log with the burned bark.
Now I can see it
sticking out.
I'll watch it later again to get it clearer, but yeah,
and then let's see if I can find a picture. There's the deer kind of popping out of the log from the front view.
Wow, how big is that?
It's a big old 10-point buck. So it's bigger than your average deer. It's the head on it alone is pretty solid. The thing probably weighs maybe 300 pounds, 250 pounds.
Yeah, that looks like a big one.
Yep. So yeah, there's another picture. Yeah, so it's all set in place. It's got wood finish on the to keep the char from rubbing off, but I still have to dial in the face, and then the antlers are all carved with exception to the tines that need to be attached, and then the base that's going to attach to the head. So it's at least another solid day. But yeah, so that and then buttoning up little things. So this past week, it's been actually nice to get to the bark, the smaller stuff too.
I have a card here from my trail camera. I'll have to take a picture when I watch it again. But I have on my trail camera, I think a big 6. No, a big 6 point. Maybe it's an 8 point buck. Almost teaching a little spike buck how to fight. It's actually kind of cute. Like he's being very gentle, and they're just kind of bobbing back and forth. But normally when they're bigger, they really, really fight, right? But he's just kind of playing with them a little bit, and they're kind of teaching them how to fight. It's kind of cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's very cool. Yeah, I've never seen that happen in real life before.
Yeah. No, that's
super cool. So yeah, that's how the deer's coming. Yeah, I have all kinds of progress pics of this thing, so I'm excited to put the video out. This is going to be one heck of a long video, and it'll be something that I can kind of be prouder of. But there's been so many iterations to this thing. I had it. Here's what it looked like a couple of days ago, and I called the customer and I showed him that, and he said, I kind of want it to be less of the body, more of just the head and the neck. So I cut all that, I carved that whole thing, the body, and he was super understanding, and he was like, man, I understand you put a lot of time into that, but I just didn't, what I was hoping for is more, it looks like he's coming out of the bark, Right now it kind of looks like a shoulder mount that you've attached to the log.
Wow.
Anyway, he's a designer, he's got a background in design, but typically if I do a commission, I'm not running things by the client to that extent. It's like I'll make something. People know going into it that I'm going to make it, and then they're going to like it, or else. A little bit of that.
I'm happy to announce too. I put in a bark order. I should
Mm-hmm.
get in the next week or two. So I'm looking forward to getting some bigger chunks of bark,
Right.
just to do bigger stuff. So
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
I found I'm kind of my happy place is just jumping back and forth now.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of whittling, a
that's
little
it.
bit of figurines, a
Yep.
little bit of bark. Just keep
Yep.
turning it up, mix it up.
Yep.
So
To me, that's the joy. I had somebody asking me the other week, they were like really kind of sympathetically wondering if I'm able to make a living together, put a living together, and I said, well, any one of the things that I do wouldn't really make for a great living, but all of them combined, it's a good living. And that's not the best part. The best part is that I get to not have to do one thing every day, because that would kind of, for my type of a brain, that would not be fun. I think maybe.
no,
I don't know.
Well,
Who
I
knows?
understand.
I don't know.
I understand. You can't be put in a box. And I always say I could carve Santa Clauses all day, but I bet you after 3 weeks I'd be like, okay, something else.
Yeah. I mean, you complain about whatever new thing you have to do because the human brain does like the same. It likes. My mom was telling me this the other day. It likes, or maybe my wife. Who was it? Somebody who's a counselor was saying. I'm so funny to myself.
You're around so many counselors in a week; it's hard to keep track of.
Yeah, they all kind of blend into one shorter brunette woman. But the point that I was making was that the brain doesn't like doing the same. It likes doing the same thing. It does like doing the same thing. It just it wants the comfort of the consistency. And so, as much as it is nice to do one thing, it's actually better for you to try other things too. Maybe your brain knows that, which is why you're happier when you're doing it.
I think too, being self-employed, and in my case, it's my time.
Right.
Like if you're at work, you wouldn't complain about doing the same thing every day because that's your job.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's something about having the free brain and the free lifestyle that I don't have to, and that's why you can choose not to. But if you went to the job every day, that's your job.
That's just what it is.
That's just what I do.
Yeah. That's just what I do. Yeah.
So if you're,
which is a good it's actually kind of a good mantra if you're working for yourself and you feel lazy and you don't feel like doing it. You go, but wait a second, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Go do it. This is what you do.
I know, fella. You can do it.
You can do it.
Come on, little buddy. Come on, little buddy.
Get out of bed.
Yeah, get out of bed.
It's cold out there.
Go to bed. Go to bed. Don't text people at midnight.
Go to bed. Oh yeah, Doug loves to bring this up. I had over the holiday my vacation over the holiday. I saw Searching for Sugar Man. You can take it from here. I know you like telling the story.
I like telling the story. Well, I'm just saying I was up regardless, but it was just funny to me that it was like 12:05 at night, and I'm getting these text messages from Alec about this movie, and I'm like, go to bed.
Yeah.
Go to bed.
Yeah.
And I wanted to turn around and text him at 5:30 in the morning, but I knew he'd have it on Do Not Disturb because the next day, Alec gave me a lesson, and
how to use the function of your phone.
Use the function of Do Not Disturb, and I said,
yeah.
But Alec, you don't understand. It's only you.
Who else is?
Nobody else will text me.
A-hole is texting me at 12 p.m.
Like I would never turn my phone off at night because I have so many responsibilities in different areas that I'm always expecting some emergency call or something. So I would never do that. I was just laughing, going, "But it's only you."
Yeah, it's not wrong, man. Dude, okay, I got to show you a little clip of this. My dad and I trying to erect this thing, find a spot for it. This is just playing on my phone as I'm talking to you because I left it on gallery mode.
Okay.
But look how big this thing is. It takes two guys. Look at us struggling to drop it.
How are you going to mount that on a wall?
It's not. It's actually going to be on a pedestal. He's going to make a pedestal for it. And it's going to go in the corner of his room.
It's still
Man, part of
gonna
me
it's
wishes.
still gonna have to be tied back.
No, it stays up. It stands up on its own. But
Really?
you don't want it to fall on a kid, I guess. Yeah, maybe
I think
probably that
it'd
would
be
kill a
it'd be
child.
front heavy, wouldn't it?
I know. I was shocked. I had this whole plan for I was going to add a foot to the base to protect it from falling.
Yeah.
It's not moving. I mean,
Do
it's
you know?
not moving.
Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Like every time I put up a bookcase in
Mhm.
a library or anywhere, I always put an L bracket on the wall because I can always see my kid. Because kids will climb everything,
Ugh.
and I can always see them going, "Oh!" getting squashed by. So.
Oh man, if that guy has anything shorter than like 1 foot living in his house is dead. If that thing
Oh, that's what I'm
really
saying.
anything 2 feet.
That's what I'm saying.
t-
Or
or
he'll
shorter.
be calling you next year, going, "I need another antler."
Yeah, I need another antler. The last one got lodged in my son's,
Face. Yeah.
face. Oh my gosh, that's
Oh.
terrifying. But so anyway, that got dark quick. What were we talking about before that? Oh, what I've been up to, I guess. Yeah, and so the podcast. So part of the New Year was going to my wife's friend's house, and they did a bunch of video stuff for their podcast, and yeah, I enjoyed seeing her be excited about something almost in the same way that I get excited about the stuff that I'm doing, like with our podcast and with YouTube, and have her own like little passion project to put out there. And she, I shouldn't call it little because who knows? I keep telling her she's gonna kick our podcast in the pants because they're talking about stuff that everyone can relate to.
Oh yeah, and they're better talkers.
Yeah, yeah.
See, like
Yeah.
this sounds so sexist, and I'm going to say it anyway.
Yeah.
Because I think that women are better communicators and
Oh my gosh.
better talkers because they have more experience.
I thought you were going to say something that was controversial.
No. I'm just saying.
The way you said that. Okay, speaking of women.
Okay, you want to make it bad? Let's make it bad. I think they talk better because they talk so much.
More. They talk more.
Man.
That's statistically true, though.
It is true.
Isn't it that women talk more?
I use very, very few words in a day.
Yeah.
But here we go. Dogs are barking.
Oh, it wouldn't be a podcast if your dogs weren't
There
barking.
we go.
Oh, that's funny. This is my cue to keep talking. Yeah, so that was my break, was just visiting friends, Connor and Danielle, my wife's college friends, and seeing them and hanging out and making content with them, walking downtown Minneapolis with my camera, shooting pictures of those two for their promo stuff. And I don't know if they'll use any of it, but I enjoyed that. It's kind of fun, actually, to pretend to be a photographer. I don't get to do that, but I enjoyed that. That was cool. And so, yeah, pretty much kind of stayed away from work, the shop, and just came back maybe 2 days into the new year with a real fire in my belly to get this deer done. So that's been, taking up a lot of time. Can feel it. Can feel my back and my shoulder from holding that chainsaw. I haven't built up the strength. It's a new thing for me, sitting over a chainsaw with a chainsaw all day, carving a very, very hard wood. And I picked up I actually did get myself something for Christmas. I bought myself a chainsaw, an MS-261.
What explain more.
The chainsaw, really, what I needed to make big cuts. Like I needed to make I don't know what else to call it, but like almost a sawmill type cut on a log that was like 3.5 feet in diameter, 4 feet in diameter.
Yeah.
And I needed to cut a whole big plane on it. So I was going to go to the landscape supply and get a big bar, and then I realized, the saw is already struggling. It's an MS-170. For those who don't know, that's like
it's a little guy,
basic homeowner's little guy, 30cc chainsaw or whatever, 25cc, and it's 30. It is 30. It's fine for most things, but you don't want to put a giant blade on that and try milling through a piece of red oak, probably, right?
Yeah.
And so I did this. I just kind of like called buddy Abby and said, "Hey man, what saw do I want to upgrade to?" And he said, "Man, well, you probably want a mid-size saw. You probably want to get one that's something like a 261 would probably be your best bet." And I was like, "That's a good idea, actually, because I don't want to spend $1,200 to get a large saw, so I'll do
Yeah.
that. And it's still so expensive, but
But the
it's a
power,
pro.
you can
That's my
feel
first.
it. You can
Yeah,
feel the power the way. Like,
yeah, it's my
yeah.
first pro saw, so it's yeah. You do feel. I remember one of my students. I watched a TV interview that he did, a news interview. He's one of the coolest guys ever. But he was talking about chainsaw carving. He's like, man, it feels like I'm riding a motorcycle or something when I'm out there with the chainsaw cutting through that log. You know, it's like, man, it's just such an invigorating feeling. And I'm like, what is this guy talking about? I don't understand.
Uh,
Because I'm sitting here with a Makita, like a 30 watt, like an electric chainsaw, just, shaking my bones to the core.
I
No,
know. Yeah.
no shock absorption, and I'm doing that all day in the hot summer. Doesn't feel anything like, I'll tell you, it feels more like riding a piece of crap motor scooter across the Sahara Desert. It's not as much fun as you think.
Well,
But now I do understand.
there's a couple
Now
things
I
to
do understand.
add to that too, because with the larger bar, your chain actually stays sharper longer because
Mm.
you've got more teeth. It's
Not
kind
if
of
you hit a
the
screw within the first 2 minutes of using it.
well, then don't do that. But it's the same
Not that
idea
I would do that.
as
But
a belt sander. That's how the knife grinders can keep their blades cool, because they have such a
oh,
large belt,
surface.
right?
Yeah,
Surface, right?
yeah,
And the same with the teeth. And
that's
yeah,
cool.
you just power through with a bigger blade,
I'd never
or
thought of that.
bigger bar.
Yeah, it makes sense because each
So
tooth is doing less work because there's more
yeah.
of them to share the load.
Oh,
Yeah,
depending on the
cool.
size of wood, if you got the whole thing immersed in the middle of some giant
Yeah,
log, but otherwise, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's true. That's true. Well, and I was doing the giant log thing, so I needed something decent, and I realized I'm gonna be doing chainsaw carving, uh, because as much as I don't like the physical, the sort of, I don't know what the right word is. Some of the more physical parts of it are tedious. But I just do like it. I like making bigger stuff. I want to make bigger stuff. So I bought
I
that.
w-
Anyway, why am I
I'm always
talking about
tempted
this stuff?
about chainsaw carving, but my
Mm-hmm.
what stops me is the few things that I have done is always in
Mm-hmm.
dead dry ash, and it's so
Oh,
hard. It's so
no wonder
hard.
you hate chainsaw carving.
Yeah, like I don't have
You
big
got to come out
pine
to Abby's.
logs.
Oh,
Like
you'd be done. You'd be done for at Abby's house.
I have a fun
You'd just
story
be.
over Christmas though.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see these, I have these ash logs all over as little carving stumps and stuff. And
Yep.
I think I had four of them down here, and the
Yeah.
one I didn't like. I was sick of it. It was always in the way. I took my little electric, was it dime tooth carving
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
chainsaw,
Dime tip. Yeah.
diamond tip, and I cut a log like that up with that.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was so bad.
Horrible.
It's,
Yeah.
just to get
It's
it
like
out of my
having
workshop, because I can't carry it out. I wasn't going to fire up the big
Yeah.
gasser in the basement, so I just
Yeah.
I took my little electric saw and just cut through it. It's just painful. It's painful,
Yeah.
but
It's like driving one of those like kid razor electric scooters through the Sahara. It's not the same experience. When you have a big powerful saw, I get what he's saying. You feel like it's great. Like looked at my dad because he was in the room. He wanted to see what it was like, because neither of us have ever had a pro saw. We
yeah.
have no need for it up until
Here's a
now.
question.
So
So let's say when
yeah.
you cut the neck off of the deer,
Mhm.
you do it
Right.
with a chainsaw.
Mhm.
What would you do if you got a little wow in that cut? Would you power plane it off? How would you
Yeah,
make
I
a
did. I
smooth?
bought I actually bought a power plane for this project. Maybe we talked
Okay.
about that.
No, we
Yeah,
never did.
but then,
No.
the glue, the adhesive that I use too. This is a really good tip. Actually, this is worth a lot, and it's not my idea. It's Abby's idea. But Gorilla Glue, the expanding foaming Gorilla Glue, will fill the gaps, the little micro gaps, and even some of the bigger gaps.
Oh, you're talking about
And
like
as long,
the regular wood glue that expands, not
It's
foam.
not wood glue. Yeah, it's just Gorilla Glue. Because
Okay.
Gorilla Glue makes a wood glue. You don't want to. I don't think that's the same thing, but it might be. I might be
Same
wrong.
bottle.
But no, you
It's
want
not like a spray foam or something. It's glue.
no. It's a glue. Gorilla Glue.
That's what I'm
It's a
saying.
liquid. It's a
That's
clear
what I'm saying.
amber colored liquid. But
Okay.
no, the only reason I say that is because they make a wood glue. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you just so people are clear.
I think I bought a little thing of that once by mistake, and I made a mess of whatever
Exactly.
I was using it for.
Yeah, it's not good for a lot of woodworking projects, but it's amazing for chainsaw carvers because it fills. It's the original stuff.
Yep. That's exactly.
It's got kind of a.
Yeah. I didn't know it expanded when I used it. Yeah.
That's a problem. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
So this is.
I think I did that too once.
This is going to be painted then.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, if you're painting it, in this case, the transition is blended in. It's black. It's all bark, and I want the deer to look as though it's coming out of the bark. So the bark is climbing up into the neck a little bit, and so it doesn't. The seam, if there's some foam there, it doesn't matter because it's all going to be bark painted or burned. It's actually I used a torch to burn it black.
Why is the deer in the tree?
He probably. Maybe he got stuck. I don't know. You've seen those videos where the deer get stuck in things and stuff. I don't know. What he'll be responsible for telling the story. I'm just doing what he wants. But here, I'll show you. Look at this torch I'm using. This is ridiculous.
That's the one you bought for the sign?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Inside too. You can sweep up all the
That's
sawdust
my back.
first.
Yep. Yeah, you can see all the dust that I swept away from it. And then I had water. There's a hose nearby, and I have a spray bottle that I can spray it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Spray it down, keep the ash from continuing to burn. Keep it from burning. But
we gotta get moving. Media.
Mailbag.
Mailbag. I meant mailbag.
It's been a while.
I meant mailbag.
I know you did.
Tanner Johnson
real quick.
What?
One last thing I'll say. I'll do my show off moment.
Oh yeah, please
carving.
do.
So this is for the school. Carving for the school. We're on a series exploring different ethnicities. So this is a younger black dude. And that was fun, man. It was challenging. I did a drawing of it first, and to kind of get my whereabouts.
So
and then,
on a black guy, key features that are different. Give me
honestly,
two.
I mean, honestly, it's the major thing. You know what I noticed? The face is a little bit, the angle of the cheek, not quite as much as maybe a Caucasian person. It's a little bit flatter, almost reminiscent of some Asian features. You know how you especially me, like some of the French with the big old schnozzes and stuff. Like, there's a lot of angle here, right?
Okay.
But this guy, at least this guy, I can't speak for African American people in general, but the nose did not. And the nose does not project as far as a lot of the Caucasian people. So there's another similarity to the Asian thing. See that? It's not that much projection of the nose.
Is there
Those
more
are two of the.
Yeah, go ahead. No, I was just saying, is there more? Does the nose flare more? Is there anything like we're talking about women on the weekend, and the women's nose they'll point it up a little bit more than the man, and
there's one thing about the nose is there's less projection of the ball. Like the nostril flare makes up more of the side profile and the nose itself. Like on this guy in particular, that seems to be the case a lot. I don't know.
I guess there's no rule. There's no rules. You can't.
I'm basing it on what I know. But
okay.
And then this is another one that I just buttoned up, pretty close to being buttoned up for a guy, a commission.
Oh yeah.
Sailor dude.
So here you go.
He's kind of fun.
I like the pipe.
There's the profile. Yeah, I
I
just
really
made
like
that.
that pipe.
And he's about ready to get shipped out. He's got his little hat and his features. And
What's the finish on that? Did you put a
nothing
finish on
yet.
it?
I'm about to put a
Nothing.
dead flat. I'm gonna put
You're
it. I'm gonna
putting
put a dead
flat?
flat
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Yep. I just need to hear back from the customer, make sure he's okay with it, because you do want to make sure the customer is happy. As much as I say that you get what you get, you do want to take feedback, criticism, and apply that to the piece. But to an extent, you don't want the customer to be running you around in circles, because many times the customer is actually wrong, is what I found. Like many of the suggestions and the feedback I've gotten from customers, they end up regretting when I apply, and I'm doing it with all intention of making it as awesome as I can. And when I do
Yeah.
it, they say many times they are not happy with it.
Yeah.
And it actually sometimes can ruin the piece. So it is actually best if you're commissioning artwork most of the time. You know, it's good to give feedback, but you can do some damage to the end piece there. But anyway, so back to the mailbag. I'm sorry.
Tanner Johnson listens to the podcast while he carves, and he's going to be teaching his first carving class later this month. Any tips? Also, the videos have been very helpful, and he'll be using our techniques and terminology going forward. Yes, this is all
Cool.
Alec. What are your tips for teaching, Alec? His first class. He's a brave man.
He is. I mean, really, a lot of what teaching is answering questions that people have. And it's actually an exercise I've heard that public speakers use. They say, well, what do I talk about? And the answer is just ask yourself basic questions and answer those questions in your speech, like as a way of propelling yourself through it if you're kind of stuck. But the great part about teaching is the students will drive that aspect of it. You don't even have to ask the questions of yourself. If there's a lull, you can do that. You can go back to, what's this guy's name?
Tanner,
you can go back to and say, let's see, what would Tanner who started a few years ago, what would he have asked Tanner now? You know, like that's a good thought process as well, is like listening to your students, and when they don't know what they need, which most of the time they will know what they need. They will understand their shortcomings. And on that note of shortcomings, do give critique, but remember that far more heavily weighed in the mind of the student than the critique is the affirmation, is the compliment, is the noticing of the strength that someone had. Because people many times don't know their own strengths until someone else communicates it to them. It's almost like, what was that Abraham Lincoln quote? It was, something to the effect of, I became a president because I didn't want to let a friend down. You know, like someone believed in him that much that he did something to rise to the level of that friend's expectations. And so when faced with the need to criticize a carving or to give somebody feedback, and I've failed in this before, so those of you who have taken my classes, if I didn't do this, it's hard to always do, but you know, that crap sandwich, whatever you want to call it, you know, the compliment sandwich, where you know, there you kind of hide the compliment, or I'm sorry, the criticism, or at least you cover it with a compliment on either end, is huge. Like saying the things that you like about a person's work before you dig into it, it's definitely confidence building. So you can hear can you hear the train back there?
Oh yeah.
I hope they can, because I love that sound. But yeah, so you know, you use that sandwich method, and then and remember to encourage your students. They'll think more about themselves than you. So there's really no need to be insecure about your presentation or how professional you come off. It's more about admitting when you don't know something, playing to the students and their needs, and admitting when you don't know. They'll respect you for that. So,
well, you heard it here first, folks. Good answer.
Thank you.
Cookie Flukes. I don't know these names. Kooky Flukes. New to whittling and have been practicing on Doug's owls. Simple starting project. Yes, it is. Anyway, I've made about 10 good ones out of about 20 started, and I've turned them into key fobs, which people have been interested in. That's a fun concept. I've given a few away as gifts, but I'd like to sell a couple to pay towards my shop materials. Just wondered what the permissions would be. I'm just a hobbyist, not trying to make a business. And just sell a few.
Look, I don't want to butt in here, but I'd like to act as Doug's representative. He does not charge anything other than just a percentage up front of whatever you sell.
Right.
So,
just a small percentage.
What's that percentage, Doug?
40%.
40%. Yeah. So it's very reasonable in this world of art licensing.
Okay, Cookie Flukes, have at it. Sell them. There's no permissions needed. They're free. Just go for it. Just don't make it. Especially beginners, don't make a job out of it. Don't enjoy the hobby. Get good at it. Be confident. Be good. I mean, he gave us a picture, or he or she, I should say. But no, they're nice, clean-looking owls. But don't rush into selling too much. But I understand.
Right. Yeah.
Replace a piece of wood. Go for it.
Yeah.
So
it's beautiful.
Peter from the Netherlands. We were talking about carving gloves because I nicked myself in that last video. Yes. He has the same problem and tried several gloves from different brands. It costs a fair amount of money. The issue is when you stab yourself, right? We talked about that. The carving glove is slice proof, but not stab proof.
Right.
So now I'm using a metal glove, the same type you use to open oysters, and put a normal, bigger carving glove over top of it, and it works for me. So there you go. There's a tip, like a fish fillet glove, like what's it? That's exactly what we're talking about.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, I've always joked about, one day getting a chainmail, what is it called? Chainmail.
Yeah.
Chainmail glove. This is the next best thing. It's not quite chainmail, but I mean, let me say I have not tried this out as a carving glove yet, but I just bought it mostly as a joke. But it's cool that people are using them.
For the sake of the podcast, could I get you just to stab yourself? Stab yourself in the hand.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. Just so we have a visual.
Right. Okay. I don't want to use that tool. Let's see if I have one that I can.
Yeah, if you got an older rusty knife, it'll probably work better. You don't want to.
No, the truth is I don't have any. So all of these have been tedious, very well sharpened. So I don't want to dull them. But I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I feel bad.
Well,
next time. I'll catch you next time.
Okay. All right.
I'll send the glove to you. You probably have some dull tools.
I am terrible. I want to wear a carving glove as an example, but I don't wear gloves hardly ever. I hate wearing gloves. I did pick up. I picked up this little tape. I also had those little finger dams once. You know what a finger dam, like a little cut-proof finger dam? But they were a nuisance too to get on my clubby fingers. But I bought this little tape here, and you just wrap it up. It's just a safety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's
something.
Cool.
It's something. And it feels a lot more comfortable than a stupid glove. But again, with buddy Ryan Olson, he was saying he always wears a glove now. And I believe he got a really bad cut last year or the year before. And he was saying that of the worst cuts he's had, it's never his fault. It's always the wood giving way or a flaw in the wood or something. And
sounds like a man who needs to check his pride, his ego.
That's right. It's never been my fault. But no, I understand what he's saying. Like I've had strange grain breakaways and stuff, and so
makes a lot of sense. Yep, I get what he's saying.
Dave Wilson says, "Have either of y'all used the file 15.6V I bought one, and it's amazing for undercuts. Thanks for the show, guys. Any guests coming up? Nope.
I have the file with me.
Oh, good time. I have a 15.3 that I like, but you know what's better than a 15.6, Alec?
Yeah. Here's a 15.3. What's
I
that?
have a 15.3. This is my 15.3.
Yeah.
You know what's better than a 15.3?
What's that?
A 16.6. Woohoo!
Woo! That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Look, even
that's what I'm talking about. Look at that. That's a big, deep V.
I love this. It really cuts underneath. You know what? I shouldn't say it cuts underneath a lot. I don't use it a lot for undercutting. I could, but I like it. Say you have a beard and you've got all your whiskers in.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of doing like a real deep, I always like to have a couple of deep cuts, and I can just stick that thing in there and get in there really deep. So, yeah,
that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, so this is part of the set that I used to sell, the stew buy set, and this is probably closer to yours in terms of like that 16, that real nice, deep, long, tall sidewall tool. I like that a lot. Versus the 15.3 is a little bit shorter. The wings are a little shorter. I like the nice tall the nice tall wings on the V.
Forrest, I'm not going to read your joke. He enjoys both our channels. Thanks. Couple questions. Have either of you glued up pieces of leftover wood prior to carving to make a larger piece? He's done this with good results, but never with softer woods for blade work. So, obviously, you do this all the time. We just talked about Charles Banks with the layering of the flat plane carving. He glues his wood together. I always thought if I was sticking with the 1x1 series, if I wanted to add a chunk just to stay in the 1x1 series, add a piece on it if I want to have like a big coffee cup or something.
Yeah.
You know, like nothing wrong with it at all.
That's what's going on here, by the way. The pipe is not attached. I mean, it's just sitting in his mouth so that it can be shipped separately.
Right.
That's the whole point. Yeah. So, and it makes it look bigger than it is. It makes it look like it's got more going on.
Yeah, but I understand what he's saying too. I've got.
Yep.
I want to make a 2x2, so I take 2 1-inch and glue them together. 100%.
Yep.
Very, very doable. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is it. And I think you tell me if you have something just very urgent you want to say, but we'll keep the media a little bit shorter because we may have lost them already.
Media. Go ahead. Do you have anything?
Real quick. Bam.
We have the same media. We've talked about this. You can just say it for both of us.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
The International
Dr.
Association of Wood Carvers.
Doolittle.
Dr. Doolittle. Dr. Doolittle. Yeah. Anyway, a real good presentation on Saturday by this lady. Real nice. I think what's the word? Real innocent. It was refreshing. A real refreshing. Not a beginner carver. She's been carving for a while. But,
she's a great carver.
But real nice presentation. Like, not everybody has to be a know-it-all. Not that I'm saying people are know-it-alls, but I'm saying it was just a nice, simple, refreshing presentation. I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, I did too.
Good, great personality, great test, great taste in her shirt and the sticker that was behind her with her mind. Yeah, but she referenced you a lot,
and she's a student of the school too. So we're both heavily biased towards liking her.
Very biased, but, extremely biased. But
she's very sweet. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good. So
yeah, we will take it. That's for sure. It's few and far in between that we get something like that. So that is so cool. So very good.
Go, Dr.
Yes, I enjoyed. Yeah, man, she's gotten so good, so good, in very little time. So I mean, if you
Yeah.
look at her first wood spirit to what she's doing now, it's very impressive. So kudos to you, Maria.
Maria, that's her name. There you go.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us again for another episode of the Coffee and Carving Show. By the way, submit your questions, concerns, whatever, to coffeeandcarvingshow@gmail.com. Not the coffee, but just Coffee and Carving Show. While Alec continues to talk over me, let's leave it.
The Coffee and Carving Show. Yeah. Saturday. Oh. Take your vitamins.